If you would know the flavour of gooseberries, you must go where they are found and pull them off the bushes. She pulsed with shame to think of the poems she'd once written thinking they were deep. Thinking was a vain act. She had come to London to disappear, which was her speciality, never to see or think of any of them again, and in time to become a different person. She had not yet hit upon the name for this new girl, but when she heard it, she would know. The plan had cracked immediately, as did all ideas when forced to spend a day in reality. The hostel made her expect knives, and after only 2 days, Nigel, at reception, had offered her a drink and touched the small of her back. Resolutions were vain things, and people should be ashamed to make them. She had resolved never to write anyone from Oxford or the press. But by week's end, she had escaped Nigel's nicotine tongue and written to Artemis from the table in the post office hall. The next day, she climbed out the hostel window and carted her Gladstone bag across town to Artemis's flat. Artemis, now called Diana, promised never to mention her return to England to anyone at the press. Not that Diana had much to do with them now, living in London, going by her legal name, and married to Bernard, but still. Her own former self, called by the name that couldn't be said, no longer existed. She must stop living in fear. Firm chats to oneself in the looking-glass were vanity. They sounded full of conviction, but always made one feel absurd, and never arrested the mad slide. She'd since left off staying at Diana's flat, but this afternoon, as if they smelled her on the wind, the ogres of Erin threw their nets across the bog. She was with the children at the British Museum, waiting to meet Diana. They'd taken an omnibus. It was hot, they'd complained. Inside the Egypt Hall, cool and tall, she set them copying designs from the sides of a sarcophagus. She stepped away to discourage their questions. And there, on the other side of the case, Emma. "Mary," Emma said. "Marion MacDonagh, is it you?" She never thought to have dyed her hair, but now she wished she had. She behaved to Emma as she'd seen Diana do last week, encountering a friend from childhood, pretending it was ordinary and delightful. Emma had been in the class above her at school, and after getting the civil service exam, Emma had gone to work in the Galway post office. Now, 8 years later, Emma claimed to be in London on an advanced course for the overseas desk. Of the post office? No, silly goose, the foreign office.